Tonight in this season of giving, we take a look at a Catholic organization dedicated to caring for the most vulnerable populations throughout the developing world. Earlier, I spoke with the executive director of Mustard Seed Communities about its programs and the role faith plays in that work. Joining me now on Skype to tell us more is Father Garvin Augustine, Executive Director of Mustard Seed Communities International. Father, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. Let's talk about the mission of these communities. What's at the heart of that mission, and what are some of the services that you're able to provide?
So first of all, thank you very much for having me on EWTN. Mustard Seed Communities cares for children who are abandoned, particularly those with varying forms of disability, also children who are HIV and AIDS positive. We also run a home for pregnant teens. We are here in Jamaica. We have 12 homes in Jamaica across the island, caring for approximately 500 children. But we're also in Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, Zimbabwe, and Malawi in Africa. And our main mission is to care for and sort of bring a sense of dignity and hope to these children who have been otherwise abandoned or orphaned.
And Father, can you talk to us about the connection between our faith and of the importance of caring for vulnerable? How significant is that in supporting a culture of life?
Oh, tremendously. First of all, Mustard Seed Communities was founded by Father Gregory Ramkissoon, now Monsignor Gregory Ramkissoon, many, many years ago. And I think one important factor is just a sense of our connection to our Creator. We have a great devotion to Our Lady as well. We believe that life is meaningless and purposeless without a spiritual connection, without a connection to our Maker. And we encourage that in all our locations. Our children are all baptized once we get them into our system. They're all baptized Catholic. The staff and volunteers who work with us are not necessarily so, but everybody participates in all our religious observances. You know, without a sense of spirituality, without a sense of connection to God, we would just be another social service. So we really promote and believe that we have to have that connection, that faith, that hope in Christ, our Creator, who died and rose for our sakes. And therefore, we are committed in all that we do. For example, every location that we have, every home has to have a chapel. We have a couple adoration rooms as well. We do 24-hour adoration in most of our facilities because we believe that this is what sustains us. This is what keeps us going. This is what protects us and guides us.
Absolutely. You know, I want to talk about the pandemic right now. As you know, it's impacted nearly everyone. Tell us how it impacted your organization and its operations in Africa, Central America, and other parts of the Caribbean.
Well, a lot of our support comes from benefactors, particularly in the States, some in Ireland, some in England as well, but mostly from the United States. And we have a very robust volunteer program where our volunteers come to Jamaica and to Nicaragua and the different locations, volunteer their services, but they also raise funds for us. And they bring in all the resources that we need, medical supplies, food supplies, etc. And with the pandemic, since March, we have had to have these volunteers coming anymore, and therefore we are short in our supply of well-needed goods and medicines and diapers and funding. So we've had to find creative ways, of course, you know, with the online platforms and so on, to keep our volunteers connected, but also to try and raise funds. Also myself and Monsignor Gregory, we do a lot of traveling as well and preaching to raise funds and fundraising activities. And all that came to an abrupt halt in March. So really we were scrambling in the initial stages to kind of find ways to fill the gap, and everybody is fine, and we've been getting a lot of benefactors who have been tremendously generous to keep us going over the last few months into the next year. So again, we have to thank God for this, and it's by the grace of God that we are able to do this. It's God's children we care for. So I'm confident that God is going to continue to look after us.
If people would like to help out, how can they best do that?
We have an office in Medfield, just outside of Boston, that manages our social media and so on. There's a website, www.mustardseed.com, and they can go onto the website, and there are different links as to how people can donate and so on, and get more information on Mustard Seed Communities.
Well, Father, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for what you do. Father Garvin Augustine, Executive Director of Mustard Seed Communities International. Thank you again.
My pleasure. God bless you.